Okay, I'm going to attempt to make a video explaining how I do some MIDI control, and I'll use several examples. The first one, just to be able to cut different sound modules in and out and control them from a basic keyboard, is the first thing I'll explain. So I start off, I have my piano here. This is a MIDI keyboard. It has a MIDI out, and they usually default to channel 1, so you leave it on channel 1. So I ran a MIDI cable out of that, and I have a MIDI splitter here. It's passive. It just scavenges power off of the keyboard. Now some of these scavengers don't work on everything. Like this key step here isn't powerful enough to run that, but they make splitters that are powered, that are okay. So anyway, the way I'm going to turn other synth modules on and off from my piano is using my mixer. Now what I did on the mixer here, it's kind of hard to see with all this light. I have a mono synth plugged in here, a mono synth plugged in here, and these yellow lights, I have the channels muted so you can't hear them. Over here I have a poly synth and a wave state, which are more complex players, so they're in stereo channels. And here I have my piano. So if I mute the piano, now its lights on, we hear nothing. So I turn my piano on. And at the touch of a mute button, I can cut in and cut out anything else. So I can turn off my piano and I'll turn on. The next thing in line is this Korg wave state. See, now we can hear it. I'm playing it, but I can also play it from my piano now. Because that's one of the 4 synthesizers I have plugged into the splitter here. So, and I can play both together. So I'll unmute my piano. Whoop, sorry. Isn't that pretty? And we can just go along like this. Like, okay, I turn that off. I'll turn my piano off. Now I'll turn on this guy here. Playing from my piano. I can turn him off. And I can turn my mono synths on. Or I can turn lots of stuff on all at once and play it all at once. So it's all going now. Okay, so that's how you can use a mixer using the mute buttons, and you set the volumes ahead of time and you don't have to mess with the volumes, so you get it all perfect and you just cut in and out with your mute buttons. Now, there's also another technique using a workstation, which I have a Korg Chrome EX. It has a little touch screen. I hope I do this right. And it has a mode that's called Combi. And oh, this is 8 tracks. You can see 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, there's actually 16 tracks. But it says program 1 to 8, 9 to 16. And even the mixer, it's in 2 sections because the readout's small. But the point is, you can do the same thing here. Each channel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can assign to any MIDI channel you want. So I could actually plug this splitter in and set various modules to various different channels. You can divide the keyboard up, so the top half of the keyboard maybe plays everything, but the bottom half only plays channel 2. And then you put a bass synthesizer on channel 2. And that's how it works. That's called keyboard splitting. And you can completely set up the keyboard split any way you want. Whoops. I don't know if you can see in the corner here, but the keyboard setting can be adjusted. So you can have a certain sound just play on one note. Anyway, so this is a combi that has several channels playing. And just like on the mixer, it has mute buttons. So I can just play the piano. Or just a pad. Or just maybe the crazy effects down here. And just like the mixer, you can adjust the volumes. And I'll turn it all back on. You make your own combis and you save them. Now this is all internal sounds to this Chrome. This is a workstation. But I could, let's say I wanted some extra from one of those other things, I could easily send the MIDI out and select one of these channels and give it its own keyboard area and give it its own channel. So this workstation is sort of like the master controller keyboard. So that's the two ways. See, I'm playing actually 5 voices at once off of this internal, but like I said, I could be playing these 5 voices like all these other, like all this other ones. Let's make this a little quieter here. And I'm gonna play with my pinky on one of these, but you can make some really pretty music here. I hope this explains some things to you.